Okay, so this is part 7 of the Cinder document breakdown, and essentially we've been going through a lot of this document. If you guys haven't seen already, you guys can go back and look at all the videos that I've made on this, but essentially, yeah, Cinder came out with an 1,000-page Google Doc recently, and we've been working through it. Now we're on to the part with ARUUU. Now we've covered, obviously, the overdue response, and also looking ahead post onto exactly what she's planning on doing, and everything like that moving forwards, which was the very first video that I dropped. So again, go and watch that if you guys haven't had any context, and the other videos, if you want context on any of these people. We talked about nanoless, Bao, Numi, shylily, and also the breakdown. But now we're doing ARUUU, and we've got 2 more left. We've got Silvervale and Spite, which we will cover as well, probably tomorrow, whenever I get to it, right? So essentially, this one is about ARUUU. Now, if you don't know, ARUUU is a very popular influencer over online. If you haven't seen before, she's the one that keeps on talking about the fact that they used her, like, body to kind of design, I think it's Invisible Woman in Marvel Rivals. So again, a lot of people talk about that whenever, you know, they talk about her. But she essentially came out with this little statement whenever Cinder actually put out her apology one, not the original kind of document that came out from nanoless, but after Cinder apologized for the original first time. And obviously, yeah, she pretty much mentioned the fact that, you know, she met up with Cinder, and that she was saying that Cinder invited her to go with her to Silvervale's meet and greet, and obviously we know they weren't exactly on the best of terms, Silvervale and Cinder, and obviously ARUUU felt like she was being used to kind of see her and everything like that. So again, that was essentially what she was saying. And here is what Cinder had to say about it in her Google Doc. It said, ARUUU took the opportunity to speak out against me a lie, claiming that I used her as a tool to get to Silvervale, and that's all she ever was to me. I met ARUUU during a Twitch Rivals event in September of 2022, and I met her in person with Red at TwitchCon the following month. At the con, she mentioned, that she knew Silvervale while we were sitting by the VTuber booth. So obviously this was at the con. She didn't have any preconceived, she didn't know that she was like friends with Silvervale or whatever. Before that, she only found her at the con itself. And it said, I told her I was planning to go and meet her. I was planning to go to a meet and greet, the next day. I had nothing against Silvervale at the time this happened, and I wasn't motivated to meet her by deep hatred like ARUUU claimed. I chose to invite ARUUU to come with me because I was nervous to see her myself. But I was going either way. Red was with us, but he stepped away to the side when we saw Silver, while ARUUU, Red, and I were waiting in line, or right after the meet and greet. ARUUU was the one who suggested the idea of a canine collab between us two and Silver, even though she claimed I pushed it onto her in her tweet. Since it was a verbal conversation 3 years ago, I don't have any evidence of this other than Red and I both being able to corroborate. So Red told this exactly to Nano in May of 2023. Obviously, he said, then at TwitchCon October, Cinder went to Silver's meet and greet at the VShojo booth with ARUUU because I guess her and Silver are friends, just like to introduce herself. It said ARUUU wanted to ask Silver if the two of them and Cinder could have a Wolf Girl collab together. So that's him obviously talking about it back in 2023 with nanoless. So again, it does kind of back up some of you know, what she's saying there. It said, after the con, I asked ARUUU about the idea to see if she was serious, and she happily asked Silver about it. At the end of December, I asked ARUUU again about the collab to check if she'd heard anything about it. She said, let me message her right now, which she admitted was a lie in her tweet. ARUUU never said anything else about it, and I didn't ask her again. This in no way changed my friendship or view of ARUUU. She said, by 2023, our interactions nearly stopped, but yet we continued to message each other on and off for the next 8 months. I even asked her to voice in one of my lore videos in May of 2023. And when she was hesitant about being a part of it, I reassured I still wanted her to be. It was around that time ARUUU fell out of VTubing and we grew apart. The last messages in our DMs were from her asking me about doing the IT escape room, the movie It escape room, I think, at TwitchCon that year. Although I never replied to her directly, us and a group of friends did plan and do the Saw escape room there that year, which was organized in a separate Discord server. I have no idea what she was talking about when her tweet saying that Cinder made it clear IRL that she didn't even like me. I would see ARUUU at conventions and events, and every time I even interacted with her, I've always treated her as my friend. She hasn't messaged me, and I haven't messaged her, but now it's because I was always just using her to get to Silvervale. I messaged her about the collab she had the idea for twice. Almost a year before we stopped talking, Silver had no obligation to do anything with us, and I didn't hold back the fact that the collab never happened against ARUUU. Her suddenly thinking she'd like to come back to VTubing. In the same tweet, she lied about me when it was popular to do so, is extremely opportunistic. So she's saying that ARUUU was using it as an opportunity to essentially boost her VTubing debut, because she was saying that she might get it back into it again. Obviously, she hasn't been a VTuber for a little bit. So obviously, yeah, Sinder is claiming that, you know, potentially she was using that as a kind of, you know, boost in her career, so people would know that she would be live. Obviously, we got all of the screenshots here as well, saying, "Hi ARUUU, you're super cute, and I don't know how to talk to girls." They said, "OMG, I have a huge crush on you. I also have no idea how to talk to girls. We can learn together." So obviously that is them meeting and everything. They said, "I'm on EST." They said, "Happy birthday." So these are all of their kind of interactions here, and it seems like they're going backwards and forwards here. I will be too. Said, "Let's meet up. I'll cry." I said, "Yes, I'd love to. I'd love to, but Twitch denied me at a Twitch party." Said, "I'm still going to ask my Twitch manager if there's a way to bring you in. So that's so kind of you." Said, "Hello, Cinder. I'm sorry if this is weird. I'm commissioning someone to make this of my VTuber, and I was wondering if I could make you the other person in the video." And they said, "Yes, of course you can. I'm so flattered you asked me." Obviously, yeah, more and more talking. So messages during my trip to TwitchCon. That love scary games. So again, a lot of evidence here. They said, "I asked ARUUU if she wanted to come meet Silvervale with me. I was going to meet and greet. So I was going to the meet and greet myself either way." Yeah, she said, "I'm back and safe. Sorry for getting drunk and wandering." Said, "Lol, why are you apologizing? I'm sorry for losing y'all and not getting kissed." I said, "No, it's okay. Everything happened so fast." Says, "You want to come meet Silvervale with me at 2:30? I said, "Of course, I'll go with you. I'm just nervous, and I think I remember you meeting her before. That you're the best." He said, "Is it okay to post this? Would you want me to put an emoji of your face?" I said, "Awful service right now. Emojis would be great." I said, "The image of us meeting Silver that ARUUU posted later that day, I did not make my own tweet about meeting Silver." So again, obviously the one that they'd made with their two models there next to Silver was, posted by ARUUU and not by Cinder. Let's say here it was Silvervale's reply to ARUUU's tweet. Said, "This was so adorable. It was amazing meeting you both. Sorry, K9 girls." And then obviously, yeah, even more messages saying what time's the party. Said, "I messaged ARUUU on my way home from TwitchCon if she was actually planning to ask Silvervale about a collab together, which she did. I said, were you still thinking about messaging Silvervale? Because the collab was her idea." I said, "You guys have fun." Said, "OMG, Red and I having lunch at Yukaku." Said, "Were you still thinking about messaging Silvervale about a Wolf Girl chat? I'm not sure if she'd really want to, but I'd love to do more of you anyways. We should plan a spooky collab when we've recovered from this weekend." Said, "Yes, let me message her and ask if it's okay." Yes, I agree. Let's plan something." Said, "We can wait a bit if you're still recovering, but if you had a day and time in mind, just let me know." And obviously they say it sounds like she would be down to play games together once her schedule clears up. Obviously there's a screenshot from her DMs there. Said, "Sweet, just let me know. My schedule is pretty flexible." This is the screenshot, by the way, of the DMs with ARUUU and Silvervale, saying, "Hi, it was amazing seeing you too." Said, "I was wondering, would you ever be down to play some games off stream if I had time?" Totally understandable too. Cinder and I were just talking about how fun it'd be to have a canine night. So Cinder was the hellhound that was with me at the meet and greet. That would be a ton of fun. I've been really busy lately with comp prep and stuff, but things have been calming down lately. So yeah, they're obviously talking about it. And said, "Would you want to reschedule for sometime this week?" I said, "Does tomorrow work for you?" "Oh yes, what time are you thinking?" And then yeah, obviously they send a ton of messages between each other there. Obviously you can see all of the interactions that they had, and again, this will all be down in the link in the description too. So here's the VOD of the collab with ARUUU and I planned together. Between the messages above, ARUUU and I had another collab with a couple of our friends that was planned in a group chat. It said, "I asked ARUUU if she was okay with me getting a skeb of us together." So yeah, and they said, "Almost 2 months after TwitchCon, I asked ARUUU if she ever heard from Silvervale about the collab. In her tweet, she admitted she never actually asked Silver about it again, and neither of us brought it up after this. But 2 days earlier, on the 30th of November, I messaged Silver on Twitter about hanging out off stream, and doing so reminded me of the collab with ARUUU. Said it was approved." So he's, yeah, it says, "No, stop. What do you think of this artist? I love them. hey ARUUU, have you heard from Silver about doing the Wolfie collab with us yet? I said, let me message her right now. And so yeah, obviously there's some more stuff as well. Our Skeb came back. So it seems like they were interacting with each other quite a bit here, and that is essentially it. You know, obviously all of the stuff at TwitchCon, and that kind of concludes the whole of the ARUUU section of this doc. This one wasn't as long as the other ones, to be fair, but yeah, essentially that's what she had to reply to that. Now, from what I'm seeing, it seems like she does actually, you know, interact with ARUUU a lot more than ARUUU lets on, right? In terms of kind of how much they interacted and how much she wanted to hang out with her. But I can understand how ARUUU also feels at the same time, because she is, you know, she is talking about Silvervale quite a lot. You know, she's asking a lot about the collab, like a lot of the time, and again. So again, obviously, I can see why, you know, she would not be too happy with her just constantly asking about, hey, when are we going to do the Silvervale stuff, right? So I can understand why she would feel that way. But also, it doesn't seem like Cinder was there specifically just for Silvervale. But again, you know, obviously there was a lot of talk about Silvervale within their conversations too. So I can understand both sides here. But obviously ARUUU actually made a response over on our YouTube. I haven't actually seen the response, but I will leave a link down below if you guys want to watch it. I think it is like over an hour long or something where she goes through it. So again, I don't know what her kind of response is, whether it's positive, negative, has a counter or whatever. I'm unsure, but again, you guys can go and watch that, because again, it is up right now, and it will be literally just below the Google Doc link, which I always leave in the description for this. But we've got 2 more pages left to go of this entire document, thank God. And obviously these will both be coming out tomorrow, and also I'm probably going to work on a TLDR kind of video as well to kind of wrap it all up. And then also we will be obviously covering any kind of aftermath or situations from VTubers, obviously talking about it, because we haven't had any responses really from anybody yet. As I said in the last video, people like shylily, Silvervale, all of that, like a lot of the people involved in this kind of stuff have still been streaming like normal and fulfilling a lot of sponsors and things. Now, I don't know if that's just because they have to fulfill the sponsors or if they are just planning to try and ignore it. I'm not sure. But again, it's going to be interesting to see if there is any response from them, and I will keep you guys up to date if there is any kind of response. So yeah, I mean, again, we got about 3 more videos at least on this, and then obviously we will be done with this entire document, which is very, very crazy to say, seeing as this was over 1,000 pages long. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, subscribe if you guys are new. Obviously, I will be making more content going forwards. Obviously, I know this isn't the last Cinder video yet, but obviously I will be making videos on all VTuber situations, as I have done for the past, what, half a year, maybe even a year now. I don't even know, probably like half a year actually. So again, I will be continuing to do that and covering all sorts of stuff. So yeah, leave notifications on, go over there, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.